So hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of my Thinking Habits video series. It's really nice to see you. Obviously I can't see you, but I'm imagining you there. And that's the main thing, isn't it? I do recognise I'm very Margot from The Good Life Today, and my idea is if it's rubbish outside and not very summery, be a summery person on the inside. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm channeling my inner summery person just to make the most of the last few weeks of August now. Today's thinking habit is comparing, and again, it's one of the most common thinking habits that I see in my clients, and it's the most common that I see in people who lack self-confidence. And there's no mystery why, is there? Because if you're always saying things like, "Oh, I got a 2-1 and my friend got a first, therefore I must be rubbish," or "Oh, our house has only got this many rooms, and next door they've got this many rooms. That means our house is really small." Then what you're entertaining is a lack state of mind, a lack mindset. So what you're always telling yourself is that you don't have things. You don't have enough. You're not enough somehow. And that's not really a message you want to be feeding yourself time and time again. So I'm going to tell you a little few tricks and tips today to actually help you to use comparison healthily. Yes, I'm not going to say stop comparing altogether. I'm going to say there's a way of doing it that's negative and unhealthy, and there's a way of doing it that's healthy and positive. So number one, if we take, for example, oh, I got a 2-1 and my mate got a first. Okay, that's a good example to start with. If you stop for a minute and actually think of that healthily and think, well, if I spend all day looking at what they've got, the person with the first, then I'm going to not be looking at what I've got and what that means to me. So if you actually look at your 2-1, you might actually realise that actually you worked really, really hard on that. You worked really hard on a couple of modules that probably weren't as heavily weighted as the others that actually went towards the final grade. You'd forgotten that. You'd have missed that somehow. You'd have missed your truth in looking and spending time looking at other people. Imagine if you're the person with the house. So you're spending so long comparing your house to your next door neighbours that you think is better, that you forget to actually really look around you and see what you have got. You've probably got a conservatory, they probably haven't. You've probably got a corner plot which has more space around the side and the front and the back. Quite often corner plots are quite a lot bigger. They might have a room extra, but they don't actually have a teeny tiny strip garden. So the longer you spend looking at what other people have, you've actually got your back to the things that you have got. And you need to spend time really looking at things that you've got rather than things everyone else has. That will be the cat flap. Cat's just come in. Hey, Ozzy. How are you, darling? So the first thing I would say to do as a real tip for this is to create a gratitude diary. So start to list each night at least 3 things that you're grateful for in your life, and that will help you start to build a much healthier mindset, a mindset of I have rather than I have not. So the other thing that I want to talk about with comparing is actually that there's a positive way of doing it, and it's needs linked. Everything I do is about needs. Okay, you know what I'm going to say with this. So a really good example is something that came out at a workshop at UCA some months back now, it's a while ago. And one of the members of that workshop was an artist. And one of the examples that they gave me was that they'd often go and see other students work in the college during open days and things. And they think that theirs wasn't as good as theirs. So the advice that I gave them is this. First of all, think about the emotion that you feel. The sound you can hear, the cat's wrestling. I'm sorry about that, I've interrupted us. So cat wrestling is going on right now. So if you hear a yelp or any kind of scuffling, it's just some cats. It's nothing else. So back to the anecdote. So this young lady is spending time, as in the first example, looking at everybody else's stuff and not really thinking what she has got already. The second thing she's doing is she's not really paying attention to the message that her emotions give her. So if you think about the emotions in this situation, she's looking at other people's work and she thinks, oh, they've done that and I haven't done that. I've done something else, this looks better than that for that reason. So think about the emotion. The emotion is jealousy. The emotion is envy. Okay, and they might seem on the surface quite uncomfortable emotions, but every single emotion, as I've told you before, is a useful one if you think about the message it's giving you. So, jealousy and envy both tell us there's something that person has that I need. There's something that person has that I value and I want too. And no, don't meet that need unhealthily by going to steal something. Meet that need healthily by thinking, okay, what is it that they have got that I would like as well? What is it that they've got that I need? How can I meet that need healthily? So the young lady at the art college, what I suggest that she do is she look at the art pieces that she would feel envious about, jealous about, and she really looks at what it is that's there that she hasn't got in her own work. So an example being, maybe she's someone who uses oils. Maybe she just uses oils all the time, and actually the pieces of work that she's seen that she really likes mix media a lot more. So what does she do? She looks at that and thinks, actually, you know what? I'd really like to teach myself how to mix media. It might be that the artworks that she's seeing use something like screen printing. You know, what's the message that jealousy and envy have for her? It's to learn a new skill and to add to her own toolkit. So there are two little tips there of how to deal with comparison and comparing in a much, much healthier way. So by all means, compare away, but do it healthily. We will have me to answer to. Okay, have a lovely rest of the day in the rain.